Hi everyone, I'm meteorologist Eric Fisher. In an alternate universe, today's temperatures would have been the weather story into the 60s again, but we are watching a very strong storm system moving in our direction. This one is going to be a damaging nor'easter across our area. Coastal flooding, the main impact overall, looks to be a very top-end type of coastal flood event. Inland flooding from heavy rainfall that'll be with this one, damaging wind gusts across the region, and then heavy wet snowfall, especially with the higher elevation. So here's a look at the timeline. This all begins after midnight. It begins as rainfall. It's very mild outside right now, so many spots will start off as rain. So tomorrow morning out the door, temperatures are in the 40s and 30s, and we'll be looking at some heavier rainfall developing. Farther to the west, there may be some wet snowfall that mixes in initially. It's torrential rainfall up until midday. And then as we head toward the afternoon, we should start to see that flip over to heavy wet snowfall. So after the midday hour, it would start across the higher elevations and across western Massachusetts. And then as we head into tomorrow evening, we could flip over to a period of heavy wet snowfall all the way to the coast and into southeastern Massachusetts. That would be wind-driven snow, so it's going to be a wild stretch for us, and some scattered areas of snow and rain will be likely into the overnight. Rain amounts 2 to 4 inches across much of the area. This is going to be a soaking rainstorm, so flood watches are out. Eastern Mass, Rhode Island, Connecticut. This is where we could see some river flooding and certainly a lot of standing water in urban areas. Then we have the winds. It gets very gusty in the morning, but we really start to see the core of the strongest winds from midday till midnight, gusting 60 to 85 miles per hour at the coastline out of the northeast, 40 to 60 miles per hour for inland areas. So we'll also be talking about coastal flooding. We saw some of it today, even on a calm day, because of the full moon. So we already have astronomically high tides. A storm surge of 3 to 5 feet is expected, and this will occur over multiple tides. So here's a look across the region. We head north of Boston first and up toward the seacoast and Cape Ann. 3 high tides in particular to watch, both of them on Friday and then Saturday at midday. And keep in mind, the high water here may cut off some areas. Places like Cape Ann may not be accessible. Water could go over 128, and the access points, Plum Island, could be inaccessible for a while as well. We head south of Boston and in the city. This is expected to break the record for water level in the city of Boston. So some of those scenes that we saw back in January, water coming into the West End, into the seaport, 4 points, that will likely occur yet again. Big wave action along the South Shore. So this is likely to be a destructive one into Saturday. And then the highest water of all will likely be on Saturday for the bay side of the Cape and Nantucket as the water piles up in Mass Bay. So midday on Saturday, that may be your most destructive and widespread flood event there on the Cape. Wave heights will be building 15 to as high as 30 feet just offshore. We'll have tremendous wave action with this storm. It'll linger into Saturday and start to come down just a little bit as we head into Sunday afternoon. And the final part, it's the wet snow. It's the most difficult call. This is basically going to be a watch and see how it develops in the afternoon situation. But there's the potential of 6 to as much as 12 inches of snow in the higher elevations, central Mass and the Monadnock region. Lower amounts toward the Connecticut River Valley. And then we'll see how much snow can accumulate into southeastern Massachusetts as we head into Friday night. But there will likely be at least a burst of wet snow across all of eastern Mass tomorrow evening. So here's the full 7-day. There'll be a windy, chilly weekend in the low 40s. We'll stay in the 40s Monday and Tuesday, and then Wednesday brings the next chance of a storm.